Hey guys, this is Moms on Air.
Totally missed it, but it's cool.
We're getting it together,
Hey, it's
guys.
2019. We got to get it together, guys.
Happy New Year, ladies.
Happy New Year, ladies. I feel like I haven't spoke to you guys in so long. Even though we speak like every day, but I mean like
We haven't
see
really.
each other.
We haven't
Like
had
you
our.
guys, like our sister moms listening. Too.
Yes,
Like,
we miss you, ladies. I hope you
So,
miss us as much as we miss you.
Yes.
And we did have that contest that happened.
Yes.
Shout
she
out to our
just-
winner.
She just hit me up the other day and she's like, oh my God, I love my stuff. I'm so happy. And, you know, she was feeling a little down. And I think when she got the gift at like the right time in her life, because, you know, sometimes you have like an ugly week or ugly moment. Not that nobody's ugly, but sometimes you feel that way. And she was just like, you have no idea how much you've made me feel so good. You know, it just
Shout
feels
out to
good.
her. What was her Instagram again?
You know, her name. I don't want to mispronounce it. So let me get it for you. I think it's Kanar. Kanar.
And I think we need to keep doing that because it's kind of cool. We did the little makeover thing, a great moment for a few moms, a little gifting.
Yeah,
we definitely-
Kanar.
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 Well,
Yeah, I think that-
congratulations, Kanar. You get to capture some moments with your cool stuff and look glamorous.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let us know. Tag us. We want to see more and more pictures.
Absolutely.
I did have like a thing the other day. I was feeling super down. Life was happening. And I'm like, I wish I could be with like 20 moms at a spa, like lined up, all getting massages or in a pool talking
Oh
about
my
mommy
God. That
moments.
sounds like everything right now.
Yeah, we should do like an improv meetup. Like, everyone, January 17th.
Meet us here at this time.
Yeah.
So-and-so spa at the third pool.
You're not even lying because, you know, leading up to like the end of the year, well, you know, we're all moms. So we have to make, you know, Santa exist. And so, you know, we
The
have,
elf on the show.
first of all, it's so stressful. And then the night before, like Christmas Eve, I don't know if you do Christmas Eve or Christmas, but we do Christmas. And on Christmas Eve, we have to like build everything because you don't want to open gifts on Christmas and then have to build on Christmas, you know? So you want everything ready for Christmas. So like,
My parents never did that, but okay.
well,
I do
we
the
never
Eve.
celebrated Christmas. So honestly, this is new for me.
No, but that's smart. That's smart.
But so yeah, so he would wake up and play, and then instead of like opening wrapping, you know, and oh my God, when I woke up for Christmas, I was so tired. But like, you know, I just had to like suck it up, and it's so funny because Alexander had came down without us knowing, because normally he'll wake up and he's like, "Mama, I'm awake," and like I'll go get him. But he opened the door and went downstairs by himself. So I look at the
He
monitor.
like knew.
But we wanted to capture, you know, because he's like 2.5 now, so he kind of understands a little bit about Christmas and Santa and toys. You know, last year he was small, he didn't speak as much, and so he went downstairs, and I wake up, I was like, "Babe, he went downstairs."
We missed the moment.
So I'm like
for
screaming his
Instagram.
name, and I wanted to get him because he was going down the stairs on the other side, and we're like running to get him, so he don't see nothing. Take him back upstairs, put his like Christmas pajamas, and come down. It was so funny. So it was like at the end of the year, it was so stressful. So, anyways, moving back, spa day at the beginning of the year sounds so nice.
Wait, I'm gonna take it back to where you were. As a mom, for me, part of my thing is trying to keep some of those culture and tradition things, right? Like, so I pretend to buy like maracas and be like, or accordion and like teach them about culture. For you, you decided you didn't celebrate Christmas and you want to. Was that a conversation you and Pro had, or was it like,
No,
oh, I never had it, so my kids are having it?
Well, you know, I was raised Muslim, and so we have like Ramadan. That's Eid is like our Christmas, but it's not the same. But you know, when you were born in America and you go to school, everyone has a Christmas tree. Everyone talks about Santa. Everyone talks about gift. I used to come back to school and lie. Oh, I got this, I got that. And on Christmas, we'd watch like Full House or Family Matters. We never really did anything. And then luckily back then we didn't have social media, because I think we would have been so depressed, been on like looking on Instagram and not having gifts to open or knew this or knew that. So sometimes when my mom would buy me like a new shirt or new shoes, I would save it. Like, okay, this is my Christmas.
It's funny that you say that, because first, the pressure with social media, let's take it to like, okay, it's January 1st. I'm reaching all my goals. I'm losing 10 pounds by January 15th.
I'm gonna be a millionaire.
Everybody's learning this. My
Yeah.
business going to go 100%. It's so much pressure. And then my Christmas, let's go back a little bit to Christmas, a little, not harder. I don't, it's not harder anymore, but you see, my son is different. So my son, every day to him is every day. Sebastian's world and every day is spectacular in his brain. So I don't understand.
That must be so cool to live like that in your
I
head.
don't. It took me a while to really understand that and embrace that part of his disability. So I don't think if Sebastian, let's say, God forbid, I wasn't able to give him the things that he wants, it wouldn't affect my son because he doesn't care about pressure of social media or standards or understand any
He's
problems.
lucky to
Wait
feel
a
that
minute,
way.
we're at a disadvantage here. How amazing is
So my son doesn't really, but then I also want him to have I want him to, as he gets older, to understand holidays and what different things. So this year he did know Halloween was coming. He did know Thanksgiving, and he did know Christmas because all the shows and the YouTube, they all start for every season start showing more of specifically that holiday. But I don't think Sebastian understands okay, I could ask for this because he has everything. So he got a new iPad, right? Like they updated his iPad, one of his gifts, and he hasn't even played with it. He's still using the old one
because he's comfortable with that.
Right.
He likes
so
that.
it's that. But I just feel like you go through so much to get through these holidays, and then you get through them, and then now you have January. Now this is where you're supposed to come and have everything and all these goals in order, and all this pressure again on mommies, because if you're hosting any holidays at your house,
oh my God,
you gotta have it clean. You gotta do
I'm
about the
like
cooking.
the hostess queen, and it's stressful. Even for my
Yeah.
son, too much stress.
And you had
So-
like a Christmas, a birthday, a New Year's.
Yeah,
all
my son
packed
turned
up.
1. I really didn't want to do a birthday party, especially so close to the holidays, and but we end up doing it. But yeah, going back to what you're saying, holidays is just, and in the first of the month, like I told myself December 18th. I remember this day. I was like, I'm gonna do my vision board, and I'm gonna do it.
Did
you do it?
It's January 18, 1 month exactly, and no vision board yet.
Aw,
I
did
feel
you
like
have
I'm like a
vision
month
board?
behind.
Vision boards
Well,
are good though.
So I have this planner from my friend, and she's amazing, Angela, and it's her stuff. She's selling it on Amazon. I can think of the name, and I'm really sick, guys. But I've been saving it. I've been having it for almost 6 months, and I've been saving it from when I'm
Does
ready.
she sell like planners? Is
Yeah,
that, like,
she
her
does,
thing?
and
What's her-
it's like an inspiration.
Angela?
Marlene Ange.
She sells planners?
She's
I bought her
amazing.
book, by the way. It's
Yeah,
really
that's
amazing.
it's
All
a
right,
book.
Tell me about
Yeah.
this, and you guys both know.
Okay, so she has this book, and what was it called? Hold on,
Okay,
guys.
it's not on the top
Look
of my head.
Instagram.
Hold
yeah,
on.
look it up. So she has this book, and you
She's,
could.
She's
one of those-
these got this all together. This is how
Right.
I
You
do
look
it.
at her, she is goals.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she has this book, and then in between, you planning your goals and doing all this stuff, there's inspirational quotes on it, and it's just an amazing book. And I've
Turn
been,
your goals into actions.
that's the name of the book. Turn your goals into actions. I know you could get it on Amazon, or you could hit her up
That's
directly
where I
on
purchased
Instagram.
mine. I
yeah.
purchased mine on
so,
Amazon.
and I haven't even opened it. And every day, so I'm like, okay, my January 1st is gonna be February 1st. I just constantly keep stressing, maybe because I have a child on the spectrum, that routine and what other people do is not it doesn't have to be your story. Because my story had to be very different because of Sebastian's needs. So my story is not the generic happy ending or the generic, raising a child of what, you experience or what everybody experienced. So I kind of been applying that into my personal life. Like, it doesn't have to be the social media way for it to be the right way.
And I think that's so important, like, to even say that again. It doesn't have to be the social media way to be the right way, because everyone thinks, especially when you go on social media, like, I'm sure, how we're saying, oh my God, she's perfect, Angela. We don't know what goes on in her life, and it's just like, sometimes when you look at social media and people of influence on social media, you look at their lives and you're like, wow, it's so perfect. Like, I follow this mom that I'm like obsessed with. Everything about her, she's like, mom goes for me. But the other day she posted something on her story, and she's like, you have no idea. I know sometimes I look like I have everything together, but I cry like a few hours a week by myself and I lose it. And when you look at some people, you don't see how they break down. You don't see like the reality of what real life is sometimes, because you only see the good on social media. And going back to everyone's routine, like even Stephanie, like sometimes I think I'm organized. I'm so disorganized in so many ways, and someone else might be like, oh my gosh, Shireen is so organized. It's just how their life goes. I don't feel like there should be a one way of routine or one way of the way something should be. I feel like everyone should have their own flow of something. Like your routine with your son, like one day he might wake up happy and tomorrow he might wake up sad, and then you can't have a routine. And even with Alexander, he's a toddler. One day he wakes up happy, next day has a tantrum and wants to throw something and you just want his dad, you know? And so routine is really hard, and I just hope moms are not following social media for that.
But we all are.
But what are,
which is the
yeah, we
tricky
all
part.
are. And what are your goals for 2019? Like, what's your
I
main
have
goal?
one goal.
What is it? Tell me.
So my New Year's was kind of weird. I went all the way to Dominican Republic, and I'm in a.
You got to saw your grandma. That was
yeah,
important.
I'm like emotionally like in this like messy place, right? Even though people say, "Oh, Val got it all together," I hear that a lot. Like, how do you do it? And I just like, oh, what do you mean how? The same way you do, you know. It's just different angles of dilemmas in a person's life. So my grandma's like the one person who I love the most in the world. She's the person who, outside of like the mess, to me, like, she has it all together as a woman who came here, whatever. Like, her story is just, she's goals to me. So I'm like, for New Year's, I just want to be next to my grandma. So I was able to go to my grandma, and in her church, because I went to church and I waited for the year, like, kneel down on the stage with like all these old people. But it was wonderful. Like, when I think about it, I'm like, damn, at first I'm like, I'm going to miss the club. But it was great the way brought in the new year. They had this box and you had to put in like what you were going to ask God for. And then in the end, they burned it. Don't know why. That's what they did. And my thing, it was so hard for me to think like, oh, what do I want? For some reason,
Wait, can you say what you want?
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm going to say it. It's very generic, but I think it's most important. My one goal for 2019 is happiness.
I know you were going to say that. I swear
That's
I knew you were
amazing.
going
I
to say
want
that.
happiness because, you know, some people are like, oh, financially, so I could help my mom, or, but I feel like happiness encompasses anything that I would want, right? Career, financial, with my children. Like, I just want to be happy with the way I mother. I want to be happy with my career. I want to be happy with my finances. So I'm like, right, in that one word, even though it's super cliche and whatever, it's what I want for 2019. For whatever it is that I involve myself in, I just want to be happy in that. So.
I think that's so important because you're right. If you're happy, like there's a saying, happy wife, happy life. So I always tell my husband, I'm like, listen, like me and Stephanie, we were just talking about that, right?
Yeah, we did.
Happy wife, happy life.
Mm-hmm.
If we are on the same page, then the whole house is together. If the wife or like the mom is not happy, and I'm not saying that like in a way like that, I'm just using an example. Like, happiness does control everything else. If you're not happy, you can't do anything good. You can't be a good mom because you're mad. You're not in a good mood. And kids vibe off that. I know Bash, if he sees you're sad, he can definitely sense that.
Especially your
Savannah,
son.
yeah.
His sensory levels are so strong, so he can definitely sense that.
I think I don't think it's cliche that you would want happiness. I feel like I think we all overall want that, man, woman, everybody. You know, I feel like I don't think I can name one person who is absolutely happy. Not because there's anything wrong in a relationship or anything like that, but just like in general, when it's not that you don't feel like you want to get your body done, or that you feel like, you know, I don't know, you wish you were better at something, or that your business was better. I don't know one person who's completely, absolutely happy.
And you can't be, though.
It's like a human quality. We're never happy.
Yeah, and we always want more, but it's not bad to be ambitious. But I always say that, I think for you saying that now, I think for I don't think I know for 2019, I want peace. The last 2 years of my life have been so chaotic,
because
and
we're grown. Look what we want:
Yeah.
happiness, peace.
I want peace. I want peace,
serenity,
like I just want peace.
vibes.
It's been so much drama and so much negativity and so much negative stuff happening emotionally to me, and I miss that. I miss when I had my own peace, when it was just me and Bash and we were content, because I don't think I'm ever gonna be happy, because I'm always gonna live with a broken heart because of my son's disability. And that's okay. I'm not saying that for nobody to feel no type of way, but that's me. Like, even when I speak to my other autism moms, and you know, with my one Blue Heart at a time, but it's my reality. I'm never gonna be completely happy, because I know that he's always going to depend on me. So that's always going to be a worry, but I could have peace. So that's my 2019.
They get no pressure, Shreen, but what's your 2019?
Wow.
Because we just
Would you
went
look at
in.
the time? No, for for my 2019, honestly, I feel like my 2018, my 2017, and my 2016 was all about the kids, family. I feel like I kind of lost myself a little bit. Like even as, you know, I have so many 2019 goals, but like minor goals, like be a better friend. Like I don't speak to you guys as much, you know, because sometimes I'm with the kids and then I'm just tired. I want to talk on the phone. I don't want to do nothing, you know? And then like focusing on me, you know, focusing on my goals, because I feel like when you become a mother, you forget about yourself. And when moms used to say that, like, I'm going to be that mom every week. I'm going to do my hair. Every 2 weeks, I'm going to do my nails. I'm never going to miss an eyebrow appointment. Lie. The last time I did my eyebrows was like 2.5 months ago. I did my nails today because I had an hour to kill. Like, I'm saying things just are so different. I feel like for 2019, my goal is, you know, I want to focus on me and self-love and my goals. Like you say, you know, I think happiness and peace is so important, because if you're happy and if you like if you have happiness inside, then everything you do is going to be good, you know? Like there's some moments that I feel like, you know, if I like I scream at my son or if I give my husband attitude, and in my head I'm like, damn, why am I being such a bitch? Like, why am I acting this way? You know, I have a good life, you know, it's not bad. And then like you said, nobody's 100% happy with themselves. And I feel like 2019 is self-love, and I want to focus on my goals that I put for myself years ago, that I put out because of the kids, like I put off. And now I want to get back to it. You know, I want to focus on me. I want to focus on my looks. I want to feel good. I feel like when you look good, you feel good. And when you feel good, you're happy. I feel like that.
And you have peace and happiness and self-love.
Yes.
And here's the thing about being a mom, that the whole rest of the, like to me, the more I think about being a woman, I'm like, God is a woman. Like that's all I think about. Like how amazing is that without us, there'd be no world, right? This female makes a male and a female. And when I say happiness, I'm like, if I'm happy, then I'm going to be a happy mom. I'm going to be a happy employee. I'm going to be a happy person. Like, you know what I mean?
A happy boss,
yeah,
a happy
boss,
friend.
a happy friend. So that self-love part and that peace part is what's gonna bring me happiness. You know what I mean?
I think we're like growing up, happiness, peace, self-love. Like obviously we all have.
Can you give that to us?
Yes, like we have obviously our goals and like, you know, our aspirations of and what we want to accomplish. You know, everyone has a list. But I'm saying is like, look what we're asking for. When I was a kid, I used to be like, oh my God, I want this and I want this toy and I want this and I want this. And now I'm like, I just want to be happy, like inner happiness. Yeah. And you want like overall life happiness, and you want peace in your life. And it's funny that we think we want these things now, and I can think about years ago I would never have thought that I wanted this, I want this shoes and this bag, and just life changes so much.
Like, I want to write on this show, I want to produce this next blah. Like, all right, that's cool. And that's great. And I still want those things. I'm not saying there's no, like, no, I know,
but it'll come with you, like, if you.
I want to get skinny or else I'm getting a lipo. Like, that's in a list somewhere.
Which, by the way, I mean, this is our first time we're being recorded, you know, but Valerie has lost so much weight. You lost a significant amount of weight.
Like 30 pounds.
So, I mean, this cuerpecito, it's like you just had a little lipo, you know?
I know.
And you was in DR for a few days. People would have thought maybe, you know.
No. I'd have been like, give me the pillow, guys. And my booty's still little. No, but I mean, I'm the person when it comes to that. I still might, whatever, because I am still thinking about it. But I'm going hard weight-wise in the gym. So
and eating-wise, too. You're like super
almost
vegan.
I'm a pretend vegan. That's what I call myself, because I eat, in DR, I had fish. So I can't even, before DR, I was completely didn't even have fish. But that Boca Chica fried fish.
You have to. That's classic.
But this is organic. They just
everyone talks about this Boca Chica fish. The next time we go to DR, can you please take me to Boca Chica?
Neptunos y comer pescado.
Someone's birthday's coming up.
I know.
Maybe. When's your birthday?
March 25th.
Let's go.
I know. I'm down.
I'm seriously. I need a girls trip, honestly. Like I said, self-love. And, you know, I need love from my friends.
And not for nothing, but I read some article, I don't know where, and they were saying that doctors are saying that momcations should be like a thing.
Can you send me that? Because I need to forward that to my husband.
Yes, I'm going to send it to you. I thought about you when I read But it's true. For me, I travel a lot. Sometimes it's for work. Sometimes it's for leisure. And sometimes it's with Ray. Sometimes it's not. And for me, when I come back, I don't know if it's the guilty mom. Like, damn, I've been away 3 days and whatever. But I am like the best mom ever. I wake up earlier. I make the best breakfast. I put like strawberries on the pancakes because I feel like I was away. And reading that article, I'm like, it's true. When you're back, it's like you reset. you refuel and you're ready to be that wife, that mother, that, you know, at work, you're a lot better. That's why even work requires vacation time, because you come back and you're like full of ideas and
you're
energy.
refueled, you
so
know?
for us, like being a mom, that's like the hardest job. So we need a vacation from that.
I feel like they should have, like, you know how we have Mother's Day and only Mother's Day is one day, but there has to be like a holiday for moms for like a 3-day weekend.
Yes.
And just like it has to be dedicated for moms, you know, because a mom job is literally 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
It never ends.
We're official. You know what? Maybe for like International Women's Day or whatever.
Oh,
make
that
it
would
like
be
a
dope.
weekend. That's March, I think. Birthday, International Women's Day might happen on an island.
I think we're going
somewhere.
away.
How many moms would sign up to come out with us? We're not gonna make money or nothing. We just want time with the moms. So I think we should do it. I think we should figure it out.
I
Plan it.
definitely love that idea.
And I like that idea too, especially with all the pressure that's going on with our president and
Oh
this
my God,
government
are we talking
shutdown.
politics now? I'm getting a headache already.
No, not really politics, but you know, think about all the moms that like I've been concerned about this food stamp thing, and all the moms.
I
that
grew up on
depend-
food
that
stamp. You know,
depend
I'm one of
on-
11. I have 5.
Oh yeah,
4
food
sisters,
stamps was
me
lit.
5, and yeah, we had a lot of money, but there's a lot of people to feed. You know, I grew up Arabic, so you know we eat a lot.
So, but the biggest thing is like it's the beginning of the year. It's supposed to be new start, new goals, new everything, and I feel like because of this hold that we have, it's like we're going backwards. And you know, so many moms have to be concerned right now with
It's
like
gonna be such a domino effect from
Yeah.
the airports to the
Yeah.
garbage pickups to like everything we don't even think about. Like it's gonna be. It's so scary. I'm like, this is how you
I don't
start
think it's gonna
Armageddon or something.
I don't think it's gonna last him long.
800,000 people.
Well, now,
Are
so I've heard. I
working
mean,
with
I'm not
no
sure
pay.
because you know I don't really listen to the news
Yeah, I
that
don't
much.
follow
It
that
kind of
much.
stresses me, but you know, with social media and CNN combined, I did hear something about. I mean, I definitely saw this on Cardi B's page. Something about he's summoning people to go back to work now
with
without
no
pay.
pay. Mhm.
Like, you know, first of all, living in the United States, right?
Yeah,
is
tell that to my
expensive.
landlord.
And especially New York, you know, think about this. New York is so hard to live here because rent is minimum $1,500 to $2,000, and I'm saying that's like the bare minimum. You know, if you find something less than that, you had to be living there on like rent control or you know the
Or like that
landlord. But it's
3%
expensive.
of income based or whatever.
And you know, so people live paycheck to paycheck. That's not fake. That's real.
Mhm.
And then especially now towards the holidays, like people are already broke after Christmas. You know how that goes. So people need to recoup.
People as
How
in
can you
me.
recoup and play catch up if you don't have money?
Yeah.
It's hard. You know, it's really sad. I feel like something really bad, God forbid, is gonna happen for.
God forbid. It's,
You know, but I feel like people, you know, think about it. Let's say they take out food stamp and Medicare, complete Medicaid, right?
people are not getting their benefits as of
Yeah.
effective now.
What
Yeah.
I'm saying is they want to affect it. I heard in February that they want to make it permanent, that they want to remove food stamp and they want to remove, like I grew up not poor, but I mean, you know,
I
it was a
did.
lot of us.
I
to
grew up
feed.
poor.
I grew
Well,
up
I'm
poor.
saying no. I didn't have money either, but food stamp was like helped us tremendously. If we didn't have food stamp, like I was having this conversation with my mom. She goes, I don't know how would have fed you guys, because my dad was a cab driver and my mom really couldn't work because you have 11 kids. Who's gonna watch the kids? You got to pay
Whoa,
somebody.
One time for her mom.
And
11
so-
kids.
She's
It's a lot.
she's
you know?
the president of Moms on Air.
Yeah, she is our
No, my
COO.
mom and you know my mom has like 20 grandkids. Like she's
And she still
think
got
about it. No
Go
iPad
back.
Yeah,
back
she's
then,
the
no
sweetest.
phones. You know, and my mom.
But
did
you
it
had each
all.
other to play with.
No, well, yeah, but not in the beginning when they're like my mom literally.
How much stealing of food was there in the house? We used to do that. Like, oh, you got the big chicken. Switch. Like, my house, to me, like, we were poor. Ketchup and mayonnaise sandwich were lit. Pan con aguacate was a thing.
Have you ever been to those places? I don't know what about. Like you know when you're young, you have like bits and pieces of memory that come to you.
Mhm.
So like I'll never forget this. I'm like a little embarrassed to say this, but whatever. So when we were younger, I would go with my dad to, you know, like during the holidays, you go to these places and you
they
pick up
give you
turkeys and
toys.
stuff.
Yeah.
So I would go with my dad because one turkey was not enough for us. So we needed like 2 or 3 turkeys, right? So every time we would go, my dad would change the phone number because back then all you needed to do was give a number.
What?
So-
I am with that struggle.
So listen, so my dad would go. I feel like my dad whooped my ass for this. He's giving the number. I'm like, because we call my dad Bobby. I'm like, Bobby, that's not the number. I was like 718. And then my dad went like this. When he goes like this, like if he puts his hands behind his back, I'm gonna get the only ass whooping. But he didn't really hit me. He just like scared me.
That
He's
was the code. How
and
cute.
he looked at me like he gave me the death stare. I'm like, oh, I think we changed it. And I just put my hands. I was like, please don't hit me. Please don't hit me. Please don't hit me. Because they only give you one turkey per family. I have a big family. I had 6 boys. I have 6 brothers and 5 sisters. It's a lot of us. And my aunt. And my mom, my dad, my uncle, and my grandma. So it was so many of us.
One turkey is not enough.
So he would go 3-4 times, and he never took me again with him.
You stood.
We
would get the unbranded
didn't
canned
happen to
food
me.
religiously. Like my mom from the farmers markets, like if you're under income, whatever. So it was like no label, but corn this.
Oh yeah,
that.
that's what we used to go. But
Yeah.
in Brooklyn, you had to go pick it up from a place,
Mm.
and it would be a line. It wasn't like they weren't like poor. It wasn't homeless people, but people that needed
Working class
assistance.
women.
You know, and yeah.
I didn't do none of that. My mom was like young. She used to work at Jimmy's Brown Cafe. She was a waitress, so she was doing okay.
And I see how your mom looks like now. I know how your mom looked
so
like back then.
We didn't go through that, but we had like the illegal cable box, and like sometimes we couldn't have like the premium cable channel.
What about the legal cable with the porno?
Yes.
Okay, Shireen, calm
No,
down.
I used to get in
It
trouble.
was Channel 44. What was it in Brooklyn? I could see it
52, I
grainy.
think.
I could see it grainy, and me and my sister would put it and be like, at like 8 years old.
We
I
were
remember.
curious. We would watch it
Really?
too, but I used to get in
Yeah,
trouble.
you couldn't see it, but there'd be like some parts where you could see. Like,
There
yeah.
was like a girl, like a blonde girl that used to talk. I
Yes,
remember that.
I remember her. I know exactly what you're talking about. My mom used to always watch that at night.
Legendary.
In
Oh
the
my
Spanish
god.
channel, it was A la cama con porcel. You remember that? The
Uh-huh.
big fat guy, and
Yeah,
there was like
yeah,
mad
yeah.
girls with him, random. But
I
it started at, like,
remember
11.
his. Yeah, I remember that
That's
name. I
when
don't
the bad
remember
started
Taylor.
on TV, yeah.
And then, so imagine what our children are exposed to now.
Mm.
There's so much sex out there. And I get mad. I don't get mad. Like, people get at Cardi B, for example, because the other day she was talking about, like, she used the word singal, which means getting fucked. And
And it's
she's
also a Japanese beer or Asian beer. Singa.
okay. Thank you, Val.
Okay.
Thank you, Val, for that. She was probably talking about the beer. You're
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Okay, good. Moms, if you didn't know that, if your children ask you what singal means, that Cardi B say, remember that is a Japanese beer. Thank you, Val.
But I also think this. If your kids are old enough to listen to Cardi B on social media, then they're old enough to have that talk.
But no, it's not even. Sometimes music and stuff like that. Like there's little girls who are 5, 6 years old that could dance. That could dance to her stuff, and they're not ready for that talk. It's just music. It's what you hear on the radio. Like, how much of it can we control at this point? It's so much. Sex is so common right now, and girls walk our shirts with no bra on, and it's see through, and your nipples show out. So, I think my approach, like, again, my son lives in his own bubble, so he has no idea of none of this. But I think if I was, a mom, let's say more with a girl, I would try to. I would not make sex such a bad thing. I would not want her to feel like it's a bad thing. It's just something that you have to do responsibly. Because this is the new age that we're in. I know that's hard. My friends,
especially when the biggest star of our time was a stripper, and you have to explain to a 4-year-old what a stripper is.
Well,
like,
I'm not at that point in my life right now. I feel like
you will be real quick. You will.
but
be
she got pro to have that conversation with the boys.
Oh yeah, they're boys.
I don't know. I just hope
What
my
are you
son
gonna be
gets
jealous?
married a virgin.
All right. Really, Shireen? So if they call you from school and they be like, hey, Alexander just made out with a little girl, you going to be mad at him? The face
I
is
got
priceless,
no fucking
guys.
comment right now.
No
I'll beat
comment.
this
You'll
little girl.
be mad, or you beat the little girl up. You'll
Why
be
is she
mad at the
kissing?
girl.
Why is she putting her tongue in my son's mouth?
Why is your son putting his tongue in her mouth? What
She
if it's
probably
him?
started it.
Oh,
my son's
look-
really cute.
Oh, we see the mom.
Oh,
already.
I'm
my
definitely gonna be
God.
that mom. I know.
I was that mom, too.
I'm sorry. And I used to say, oh my God, how is the mom defending her son when he did something wrong? But I think I'm going to be that mom. But, let's just hope
But
that doesn't
you know,
happen.
moms, you know your kid. For me, there's certain things if they tell me about Zoe, I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Zoe
She
did that.
did it, yeah.
And then Nia, I'll be like, nah, that's not Nia. Like, you kind of know what they did. So I tell my kids, like, I have one rule as a mom. If you tell the truth, you're not in trouble. And I really abide. Like, if you broke something, my favorite lipstick, whatever it is, if you tell me the truth and I say that, you cannot get in trouble. Because I have, like...
Do you remember that every time, though?
Every
Something
time.
really bad happens?
Something really bad happens. I don't say it every time to them. And to me, that's just like, as a mother of daughters, I would not. I hear about all these sex things that happen to girls.
Oh my God, this today,
nothing ever happened to
hear?
me, but a lot of my cousins or people around me all have this story: molested, touched, this, and they're scared to tell the mom. So my rule of you won't get in trouble. It's kind of for that moment. Like if something bad ever happens, I will want them to feel safe enough to tell me.
And
or
for
like,
boys too,
if
not
they
just
kiss
for
the first time or whatever, like they'll be like, "Mom, I'm gonna tell you something, but I can't get in trouble, right?" Like I want that. So I practice it with smaller things to build up to maybe any moments that they would not.
Well,
want
I
to tell
pray
me.
that works for you. I mean, I know when I was young, I used to hide everything from my parents. I was like petrified, you know.
I want my kids to be petrified of me.
I don't. You
It's a good and bad thing. I was scared of my mom.
My mom used to hit me if we did something. Well, you know what? I don't really remember the hitting, but they used to scare me. And if they put that fear in me, I'm sure my mom whooped me a few times, you know, because, you know, obviously I probably deserved it. And when people do bad things, like when you're young, you do little silly things, you know, you get in trouble for it. But I did some little things that I'm not really proud of. I don't think I would want to share that with my mom. Like if I tell my mom, if I tell you that I'm not going to get in trouble, she's still going to have the belt in her hand and be like, okay, I want to hear it. And it depends to my mom to see whether or not it's bad for her. Nah, but I think my parents were not born here, so we could slide a lot past them, you know? And I think with my kids, it's going to be different because I'm born here. I feel like I'm kind of always a step ahead because I've been through that. My parents were raised separately. Like my mom was raised different. My father was raised different. And so, you know, going back to my parents, you know, they were just raised differently and they were raised in different countries. And so I feel like I was able to do a lot behind their back, which is like now I'm a mom.
Sneaky.
Yeah, well, now I'm a mom. I feel bad, you know, because my mom is kind of like close to me now and I tell my mom everything. There's nothing I hide. I feel like now that I'm an adult, I'm a big girl now, so I can't really get in trouble. But, you know, it's crazy. When you're really young, you want your parents, and then you get to a certain age, and you're like, oh, I don't want my parents. I know everything. I'm so cool. My parents are so old, blah, blah, blah. And then you get older, and then the cycle goes back. Like, I need my parents, mommy, you know, Adam's
Especially
crying, and I don't know what to do.
After you have a baby, you're like, oh, I really need my mom now.
Yeah, that's what my mom's dealing right now. My sister just got married, and she's like a little separate from my mom. And my mom's like, why is she acting like that? I'm like, don't worry. Once she has babies, she's gonna come to you because you know it's like when you become a mother, I feel like you can become closer to your mother.
That's true. That's true. But also, I don't know because maybe it's like the Dominican thing. I don't know if you went through this with your mom. Like when I had my first.
First what?
When I have my son, my only one, I argued with my mom about everything, cause you know my mom wanted to feed him like rice and chicken like before he even got his first tooth. So I was just on some, no, this is not the way. She was like, ay, aquí viene esta después que yo te crié a ti, like you know.
My mom did the same
at
stuff.
the beginning, it was just like we would clash because, and then at the end, as Bash got a little bit older, it was just like, okay, mom, what do I do? Because honestly, she did know best.
Oh my God,
I won't admit it to
me.
this day because she'd be like.
If my mom was here right now, she'd be like, she'd give me that look like, I wanted everything natural with Alexandra. I wanted everything, no, mommy, we have to schedule. My mom had so many kids. She never had a routine. She goes, there is no routine with kids.
I got 11.
It don't
I'm
work.
the pro here.
She goes, it doesn't work. They could sleep at whatever time they want. Like my mom had a whole different thing. She goes, kids are going to be kids. And like my mom at 40 days used to feed us. At 40 days. Me, I'm like
food?
Food, yeah. Well, you know, probably not with the first, but the second, the third, and after like the 10th kid. It was food at 40 days, and she would put like baby food in her bottle so we could sleep.
I left Bash with my mom, and she gave him like cream of beans and rice. And I'm like, why he's not drinking no milk? What's going on? Is he sick? I'm going to take him to the emergency room. No, she's like, no, he's fine. When I look at his diaper, like, abuelita, una cagada, Valerie.
Oh, my God.
And I'm like, where did you get it?
Y está bajo sazón.
She was like, hay un chile de habichuela. ¿Tú te imaginas? I already know it was like a whole
God.
little pulserita, but it's good. He like slept all day because he was so
She
full.
said, she goes, you see, if you feed your son good, he'll go to sleep at night. And, you know, parents know. They raised us, and they didn't have anything back then. My mom really didn't know how to raise
So pretty
kids.
much it's not a culture thing. It's just a mom thing.
It's a mom thing.
Because
Throughout every culture, moms do that.
Yeah.
Well,
Awesome.
it was so great catching up with you girls. Great start to 2019.
Let's make this 2019 happy, peaceful, and about self-love.
Yes.
Oh, that's great. Those are our goals, guys. Happy, peace, and self-love.
We love you guys. Thank you for listening. This is Moms on Air.
Till
Let's
next
do it
time.
again. 1, 2,
2, 3.
Moms on Air. Never gonna get it right.
I would never.